Winter is here, and most gardeners are making a massive mistake. Half of you have packed up your tools until spring, and the other half is wondering why your plants are stuck in slow motion. Here's the reality check: your garden isn't hibernating. Your kale, your peas, and your root veggies are still working hard underground. But if you're treating them to the same diets that you use in summer, or worse, if you're neglecting them altogether, you're throwing away potential for massive winter harvest. Today, we're fixing that. I'm sharing my exact fertilizer routine using just three things: granular fertilizer, your liquid feeds for a quick boost, homemade Comfrey tea. This is my ultimate free hack. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to keep your winter veggie garden thriving and why I barely spend any money on store-bought fertilizer anymore. Let's get into this video. Firstly, I want to start with something that might surprise some of you. This is only the second bag of granular fertilizer that I've bought since I started gardening. The first one was an all-purpose mix when I was still digging out these garden beds. I was just starting out and I didn't know what my soil needed. I just wanted to be able to start growing something. Since then, I filled my soil primarily with compost, then Comfrey tea, and more recently, Bokashi tea together with Bokashi compost from the Bokashi bin that you might have seen on this channel. I do this because I believe in feeding the soil, not just focusing on feeding the plant. And one major difference between synthetic and organic fertilizers is that the synthetic, which are the lab-made chemical fertilizers, they focus on feeding the plant and not the soil. Overuse can strip the soil of its natural biology and cause buildup, and this buildup can harm your plants and the environment in the long run. Worms in particular do not like too much nitrogen or too much of these chemical fertilizers in their soil. Organic fertilizers, on the other hand, they feed the soil's ecosystem, improving the soil structure and microbial life over time. Your soil is alive when it has healthy microbes, good organic matter, the right structure, and this creates an environment for your plants to be able to take only the nutrients that they need. In essence, you are just letting your soil work for you. But there's the honest part. Even in healthy soil, there are moments where the plants need more than your soil can give at that specific time. And winter is one of those moments where the temperatures are cold and the soil's microbe activity is just slow. These microbes are responsible for breaking down organic matter and releasing nutrients. When it gets cold, that specific process slows down. That doesn't mean your soil is failing. It simply means that you need to understand what it can and cannot do in those cold winter days and nights, and for you to supplement accordingly. Let's start with your granular synthetic fertilizers. So, granular or synthetic fertilizers, what are they? When does it make sense to use them? And what are the limits? When you look at a bag of granular fertilizers, you'll see three numbers. You'll hear these numbers being called the NPK ratio. This is your nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. These are the three main nutrients that your plants need mostly. These are the chemical symbols on a periodic table where N is for nitrogen, P is for phosphorus, and K is for potassium. If you've ever looked closely at the granules themselves, let me show you, you can actually see the three components. You've got these whitish or light gray granules, and these are your nitrogen sources, usually made from limestone ammonium nitrate and or urea. This is the most common nitrogen source used for plant fertilizers. And then you've got these dark charcoal gray granules, and this is your phosphorus, which is made up of monoammonium phosphate. And then you get these pinkish reddish crystals. This is your potassium, made out of potassium chloride or potash. You mix all of these three together in one bag, and then you've got your synthetic granulated fertilizer. Here's how you read it. In the bag, if the number is the highest on the N parts, this means that your fertilizer is nitrogen focused, just like this one. If the number is higher on the P, this means your fertilizer is phosphorus focused. Likewise, if the number is higher on the K, then it means it's potassium focused. You choose the number that will likely benefit your plant the most. Now, I have to declare this goes into another deeper rabbit hole of having to have your soil tested but we're not going to do that deep dive in this video. That's a video for another time. For now, let's just talk general application. Granular fertilizers are slow release. They sit in the soil and break down over weeks, even months. This makes them most useful in summer when the soil is warm and the microbes are mostly active. But in winter, that breakdown process slows down. The granules are still releasing nutrients, but at a slower rate, which is fine for general maintenance, but don't expect them to rescue a struggling plant overnight. And that is your synthetic granular fertilizer. There's a mistake that I see some beginner gardeners make, which is over-applying granular fertilizer in winter, thinking that more is better, but it's not. You can't rush cold soil. Extra granules just sitting in cold won't give you extra nutrients faster. They just build up, and when things warm up again, you can end up with a nutrient imbalance. Also, this is important. If your soil already has good phosphorus and potassium levels from your compost application, simply adding more through a balanced granular fertilizer is unnecessary. You'd be better off with a nitrogen-focused supplement. Remember, light application, we are doing maintenance, don't rush your plants. If you've been here before, you will know that I grew my winter garden in two ways. I planted seedlings and seeds. You can check that video. I'll link it somewhere on the screen. For the seedlings, I'm combining a little bit of compost that I have with some bone meal and the foliage fertilizer, which is NPK 715, because brassicas need more nitrogen-focused nutrients. I add some bone meal for phosphorus and calcium boost. Brassicas also need calcium for root development. This balances with the nitrogen-focused fertilizer, and I'm hoping that it will give me strong cabbage heads with beautiful leafy greens. I do this for the seedlings, and for the seeds, I use this one over here. This is Guano Boost. When I water my plants once a month, then I continue with my Comfrey tea every 2 weeks as usual. Now here's where things change. In winter, if you want results when the soil is cold, you have to go liquid. Liquid organic fertilizers, whether that's guano, fish emulsion, seaweed extract, or worm tea. This simply bypasses the slow breakdown process entirely. The nutrients are already available in a form that the roots can easily absorb. No waiting for the microbes to break down the hard granules. And there's something even more powerful. Most organic liquid fertilizers can be used as foliage feeders. You spray the diluted liquid directly onto your leaves, and your plants can absorb the nutrients through their tiny pores on the leaf surface. This is one of the fastest ways to feed a plant, especially a stressed one that's starting to look sad and yellow. I want you to watch out for this part. Don't over-apply a liquid food that is heavy on nitrogen in winter. Nitrogen drives very robust leaf growth, and then you get those soft, lush, fast-growing leaves. And this is exactly what you don't want in winter, because one cold night and then your leaves will snap and you lose your plant. That growth gets easily damaged, and you don't want that. What you want is something balanced, something that supports the whole plant, the roots, the stems, and general resilience. And guano is good for this. Rich organic fertilizer, which is made from accumulated seabed droppings, which over and above the NPK also contains about 10 to 15% of calcium. It also has magnesium, as well as essential trace elements such as organic carbon. In liquid form, This fermented bird poop makes the nutrients immediately available to your plants. They are gentle, natural, and they work even in cold conditions. How often can you apply guano? Every 3 to 4 weeks in winter, not every week. Your plants are growing slower. You are supporting them, not forcing them to grow. Now let's talk about my favorite one and the best parts. If you have comfrey in your garden, this one will cost you absolutely nothing. It's comfrey tea. I've done a full video on comfrey, I'll link it somewhere here, but the short version is this. Comfrey is one of the most useful plants you can have in your food garden. Its roots go deeper than most plants, and it has the ability to mine the nutrients that most plants can't reach. The leaves are packed with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and this makes it a naturally balanced fertilizer. When you soak these leaves in water and you let them break down, you pull out all of that nutrition into a liquid. You are essentially making your own homegrown organic fertilizer for free. Here's how I do it. I cut a big pile of comfrey leaves, as many as you can. You pack them into a bucket, you cover it with water, and then you wait 2 to 4 weeks. The one that I'm using is this one over here. I must be honest with you, the smell is something else. It really stinks. Someone in the comments suggested adding mint to help with the scent, but I haven't tried mint yet. I did add some sage leaves into this batch just to soften the smell a little bit. It seems to have worked. It now smells like cow manure with a hint of flowers. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a cow kraal in the middle of a flower field. 2 different smells in one. But when it's ready, here's what you do. You dilute it 1 part comfrey tea into about 10 parts of water. It should look like weak, slightly brown tea, not like something from the bottom of a dam. Then you water your plants with it the way that you normally do. In winter, comfrey tea is gentle enough not to shock your cold, stressed plants and potent enough to make a real difference. I normally see results in my leafy greens within a week or 2 when the color comes back and the new growth picks up again. And then there's this one. Bokashi, 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 Bokashi. If you are not new to this channel, you would know that I've been keeping a Bokashi bean. The liquid that comes off of the bean, which is the Bokashi tea, is also a powerful microbial active liquid feed. It's fermented and fast-acting, and it adds beneficial microbes back into your soil. In winter, I alternate between using comfrey tea and Bokashi tea. One feeds the plants directly and the other will feed the soil life. We don't want to lose those beneficial microbes. You dilute the Bokashi tea even more, like 1 part is to 100 parts with water. It's really concentrated, so a little goes a long way. You add the solid Bokashi compost into the garden soil to amend it. And that's how your Bokashi will help you to feed your winter garden beds. And just like that, that's my winter feeding approach. Compost as the foundation, comfrey tea, Bokashi tea, and ongoing nutrition, a Guano liquid boost here and there, and a light hand of granular fertilizer for long-term maintenance. I want to hear from you. What are you feeding your garden with this winter? Are you making comfrey tea, or are you using Guano? Or do you have something local that I don't even know about yet? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video useful, share it with someone who's growing food right now. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't. This channel is for home growers who want real knowledge for real gardens. As always, happy gardening to you, and I'll see you on the next one.